I was on this for long.
Jerry's not on this yet.
Okay, keep them over there.
Yeah, I'm just going here. I keep checking periodically.
What's wrong, buddy?
Karen's not told me that.
If you guys have questions, I might be able to answer them because I met with them.
So it's gonna be over the ground.
Probably not.
Sorry.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Flower,
Here.
Alderman Dykeman,
Here.
Sir,
Here.
Escrizzi,
Here.
Murray. Murray,
Got to unmute her.
can you hear me? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Kilpatrick.
Here. Okay, then we got, guest period closed. And then we're gonna do, Karen's deals. Julie, why don't you present her deal? Got a motion on the minutes.
I'll take a motion on the
Motion
minutes.
on the minutes. All motion. Got one
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we have 3 minutes. I got so excited. Trying to catch up to Jerry's fastest meeting. I'm cheating. We got the, now, I don't know what's going on with the.
Yeah, so she's doing it,
April 15th.
April the 15th, which is a Saturday. Just like other events, she's in the back of a parking lot for the most part, with some tents. There is a food truck component that Ms. Butler approved to put on her lot with, Jen, who owns
It's the chicken.
chicken on the side. She's gonna have a balloon awning probably on the front of her building that'll be there just probably through the weekend. Hopefully she'll get done on Monday, so it's just the time to celebrate 10 years here.
10-year anniversary party, food.
Food, drinks, tents in the back, tastings. That'd be a nice event.
I think it's from 1 to 6.
1 to 6, yeah.
That's pretty straightforward. You know,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. 10-year event is approved. Congratulations, Karen Murphy Park. All right. Got, P&Z was canceled. We now have the Public Works Facility improvements. Before we get into that, Kevin, just so you got that on the record, that Greg, you had a question about the detail of the contract that kind of falls into his expertise anyway.
Yeah, there was a line item on there for any additional plywood for roof decking to be replaced at the cost of $250 a sheet. I would like to see if we can get that closer to the industry standard, which is between $80 and $100 is what a sub might charge. So therefore, if it's going for a management company, I would expect it to be maybe $150 or so.
What's the best way to handle that as far as the improvement subject to having them talk to them some more on or get a justification? Or is it the only, I'm just trying to figure out how to make sure we get, because the other thing is with us not meeting for another 2 weeks, right? We would need at least, and then we want to get them moving on, because we got to move everybody out. So if we did something a little bit softer that was like we're going to push back and get justification, talk about it, or do you want to?
I just think that we're aware of it, we can talk about the rest of the contract was really good. So this would be beyond the contract if there was additional that they found right
What paragraph is that?
and that type of thing. And
Always here.
Always here.
Hi, Jared. it an exhibit or part of the actual contract?
Can't hear yet.
It's page 4, after the four
You
dot-
can't hear?
yeah, 4.4.
I'm looking for my volume.
In the contract or the exhibit?
Right. That's per sheet for 4.8, deterioration proof sheeting. There may be an explanation of why it would be,
Okay. So,
but that would include the labor to demo it and install it.
the 150 you're talking about?
Right, I mean, a lot of the roofing contractors would be about $2.50 a square foot, so about $80. Some are about 100 on that. But again, when you're running it through management, then there's usually a little bit of overhead with that as well.
So if we said that Kevin will approve the contract, with everything except for section 4.4, and we'll just leave that to staff.
So I think that,
They have, leave it to staff to negotiate that term over.
yeah,
That way they can commence, and like I said, we don't even know what we're getting.
And then would you, would somebody make a motion then to authorize staff to negotiate section 4.4 without coming back to the board to be
I'll
part of
make
that
a
contract?
Should be satisfied, I can get you updates, because that'd be smart if they call back anyway, so he knows what he's talking about, so.
Do you want to know that after you pass the ordinance or before?
Well, they're gonna pass the motion, or the thought would be to pass the ordinance,
As
and
amended.
then staff would negotiate section 4.4 if it needs to be changed, if there's sufficient backup for the numbers.
Okay.
You know, the staff could notify the board of that, and if there's some other arrangement we can make, they have the authority to do that, and then just it would be part of the contract.
Got it, thank you.
All right, so we're doing a motion to approve the Raleigh contract, which is bill number 2822, but not section 4.4. Which will be, which we are agreeing, and that same resolution would be, there's a motion by, it would be, you could approve it with, the board is authorizing staff to negotiate the best terms they can, or get justification on that term, without having to come back to the board. So just that we're authorizing it and instructing staff to negotiate with it.
I'll second.
Cool.
Yes.
That's what you got the first.
Wait, who first?
Well, I'll motion to.
Okay, you're the first,
Motion.
second, all right.
I'll third.
Motion, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Ordinance authorizing.
Aye,
It's carried.
Sit on that.
I am.
Considering the contract with C. Rollo Contracting Company, Inc. for Public Works Facility Improvement Services.
I move we read bill 2822 for the second time.
With second.
As amended.
As
Yeah,
amended.
so that's second, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
aye.
Is he saying he's opposed?
Aye.
He's in
Those in
favor.
favor.
Just to delay.
I said
An ordinance
aye.
authorizing entering into a contract with C. Rollo Contracting Company, Inc. for Public Works Facility Improvement Services. And Jerry, when you answer for this third time, please say, I agree, because if you just say aye, it could be deemed a negative vote on the third reading, and we won't be able to do it, please.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll move that we read bill 2822 for the third time by short title, as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I agree.
Anybody opposed?
An ordinance authorizing entering into a contract with C. Rollo Contracting Company, Inc. for Public Works Facility Improvement Services.
Okay, I'll move that we adopt bill 2822 as amended into ordinance by roll call vote.
No, second.
All right.
Why don't we start with the two guys who are away?
Alderman Murray?
She can
Yes.
give us-
Alderman Holloway?
I agree.
Alderman Dykeman?
Yes.
Gilpatrick?
Yes.
Askew? Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
This, I don't even know what that is. All right, bill 2822, passed, will bear ordinance number 2708.
2708.
2708. You keep using them all.
You don't?
I have them all lined up, they're like trophies. All right, we got, Bill number 2823 will authorize the boundary adjustment at 989 York Road. This one's been in here several times, so this.
I'll make a motion that we read Bill 2823 for first time or short time.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed?
agree.
An ordinance providing for boundary adjustment between St. Louis County and the city of Eureka.
A motion we read Bill 2823 for the second time by short title.
I'll second.
All right. The guys that are on the TV, how about you guys go first? All in favor?
Caroline?
I agree.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that's the second time. All
An
right.
ordinance providing for a boundary adjustment between St. Louis County and the city of Eureka.
A motion we read Bill 2823 for the third time by short title.
Second.
All right. Carleen, you in?
Aye.
Okay, Jerry?
I agree.
Everybody else?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're all good, that's three.
An ordinance providing for a boundary adjustment between St. Louis County and the city of Eureka.
Yeah, I'll move that we adopt Bill 2823 to ordinance via roll call vote.
Second.
Alderman Holloway,
Yes.
Alderman Murray,
Yes.
Alderman Dykeman,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes.
Ms. Grizzy,
Yes.
Yes.
All right, bill number 2823, Bear Ordinance 2709. We're on to item 8, which is bill 2824, which would be the Sackerfield lease agreement. And that is in your packet, which would be part of our deal is we're supposed to close per our contract this Thursday on the Sacker Park. And one of the contingencies was that we had to reach agreement on a lease for the property with the current club there. So with that, I would open, I know we've had some conversations, so if you guys want to, I guess we can put it up there and say, at least put it on there. Do we have you guys want to at least vote to put it on there and we can talk for a minute, want to talk about it? We just gotta make sure we
You gotta do a
read it
motion to
once.
read it.
I'll make a motion to read Bill 2824 for the first time by short time.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I agree.
Carleen?
Caroline?
Oh, I said aye.
Okay, so, okay.
An ordinance authorizing entering into a Sackerfield lease agreement. Now, if you want to discuss.
Now, if you want to discuss, we can, but if they have any questions or anything, I don't get some.
Yeah, I had one comment on it, and that is in the insurance section,
I am
item number 12.
Stunned that you have an insurance incentive. We got a roof insurance.
No, the way we have the liability coverage listed there, showing the bodily injury, property damage is a combined single limit. That is normally used in automobile coverage, where they don't have an aggregate coverage. Whereas in general liability, you want to have an annual aggregate. Because right now, the way this reads is that it's a combined single limit, $1 million each occurrence, which means that every time there's a claim, there's $1 million claim, possible payoff. It could be 10, 20, 100 claims. Usually there's an aggregate on a general liability policy that limits then the total claims per policy year.
We'll adjust the verbiage.
Well, but why would we want to limit it?
Oh, you're talking about capital.
Why would we want to?
Well, the thing is, then what you need, the thing is though, is that it's a combined single limit of liability and property damage, which is typical as an automobile coverage, okay? So what you can do is you can just say that the policy is you don't say combined single limit, you just say that there's a per occurrence limit of $1 million. You can state it by just saying that you don't want to have a cap. You can just say, to show there's an enforce a general liability policy with a $1 million per occurrence limit. Take out the property damage, the live body injury, property damage, combined single limit.
So you're saying it would be better, you want to have the liability not be capped with property, and you're saying because.
Typically, a general liability policy has a per occurrence and an aggregate limit. Okay? The per occurrence limit per claim. The aggregate would be a per aggregate or yearly cap, usually, in a general liability policy. If you don't want to have that aggregate limit, okay, then you don't want to say property damage and bodily injury per combined single limit. Just say that there's a $1 million per occurrence limit. Per occurrence, meaning that it could be
So you want to
any
strike,
kind of liability
you want to
coverage.
strike the word combined,
Strike the word combined, you don't want that.
so that would make our position better without combined.
And property damage combined. You want-
Because you don't, the terminology is used more in automobile coverage.
Oh, we're gonna strike it combined, makes sense. We'll strike it.
You just go right there, it says insurance policy, strike through with a bodily injury and property damage combined single limit not less than, just say, is in force a general liability policy with a $1 million per occurrence limit.
So you don't want to say bodily injury, property damage.
You don't need to.
With a 1 million per occurrence.
So you'll catch that up.
Yeah, not less.
All right. We have,
I think it's a great deal.
Um,
well, and again, but again, like big picture is like I said, 5 years, but they got to prepay before every year, so.
Yeah.
So that'll be, so that means if they don't, then they're breach, it's not, we're stuck, even though it's 5. So it gets that, as long as they perform though there, but it's pretty stiff. I mean, it seemed like a good enforcement mechanism.
Do they plan on one field or two, you know?
They gave us, so what we did with that is they've got, this requires, roughly 1,200 hours, so they're putting that between the 2 fields.
Oh, two fields.
Yeah, so they're basically, they're real busy Monday to Thursday, and then what I'm anticipating is we do Monday to Thursday with them. We're not sure on Friday, Saturday would probably be all the ESA games, so I think we're gonna need, we'd have to make some improvements to get the ESA on there for practice, but we could get all the games over there, and we could do some other work to get them some of their practice area short term. And then we would probably have slides on Sunday, and then that's mostly in season. And then we've got, now that we have them with that schedule, the city can come back and we lock them in. So if there's open dates, then that's where Luke and the rest of the staff will go back in and start trying to place stuff. So we try and drive that down along. So, and that's where you'd see like, we had I think we were doing like the bulk rental at 85. And that was another question is, and I couldn't tell that if you're doing, the one that the Parks was going to ask is, do we have a feel of what we want to do on single occurrence rental? Because this was just the one big bulk deal, but you do see higher rents when you have somebody come in and do like an hour.
Yeah.
Now, we're a little different than these other places right now because we don't have any bathrooms, we don't have any concessions, and we have a gravel parking lot. So we got some work to do before we're probably the top notch stuff, but you could do $100 or something like that, so that's
If
fine.
they're rented by the hour, do we have to put the equipment on and take it off, or they're responsible?
Well, you might have people rent it from lacrosse, they could do all sorts of different uses, and I think mostly what we're doing is I think the goals are out there most of the time, but if they were gonna do like smaller fields or do something, anybody that's using it is responsible for their own
So we
stuff.
don't have to do this, so
Yeah, they would just rent it unless they could come up with a charge to set it up, but, I don't know what your guys do, because I've seen these, but I think the one Carlene sent over that Luke used, I think it was like at 110 for that singles, and these, the Gallaghers are 100, I don't know.
Freeport Park is $85.
Yeah.
I gave you sheet
Well, that's
Freeport
only
Park.
if they do 200 hours.
Yeah, it's $85 or $100. That's $100 is their top rate.
Yeah, so it's $100 is what they're saying is their per field rental. But then they have a parking fee at $10.
That's per team if you have a tournament.
I think 100 is good.
Make it easy, just set $100 rental, we'll see how it goes.
Right, and then when we make improvements, then we,
Yeah, we can look at it again, and if I get somebody that comes in, and say they have like say Luke has somebody that comes in, they want to run 50, somewhere in between. We do the one-time rental, we can kind of get a feel and come back and come up with a rate schedule for that. Remember, we got somebody that wants to do every Saturday for whatever reason.
Yeah, this is a good idea.
So we're,
How much did you say? I'm sorry.
100.
we have $100 for the single rentals, and then we kind of play it by ear for a little bit and see if we get somebody between $1,200 and one rental, we can kind of look at and see what we need to do.
There's a lot of room between 85 and 100.
Yeah, we got tons of room. A lot of things to think about.
But with United though, I mean, we're still sticking with the 85, is that what you're?
That's
Is
what I
that what you're
recommend, that was the rate, what we were basing on was they had brought me the Gallagher rate for the bulk rate, so that was 85, and that was at $200, I think that was if you were $200 or more,
Right.
that they kind of brought in.
And that's what Greek Court does too. 200 hours or more, it's $85.
And I didn't, that's what I was saying, Carlene, on the one you had from Blue Fuse, I'm not sure that's, what that looked like to me was more like their single rentals or their highest rental. I don't know if that would reflect their, like if that was the, like a big user. I didn't name it, I don't know.
Okay, I guess, well, did we, other than what they brought us, did we reach out to, because I did send an email, I haven't heard back from anybody, yet regarding like bulk rates on fields for, I believe it was Blue Fuse,
Well, I mean, I got a bulk rate on fields from Gallagher, that was just a public one. So
I'm
the
sorry,
bulk-
one more time?
Gallagher's that's what we got, they were 85 on bulk rate, over 200 hours. That's what I based it on from what we got back.
I see.
The other thing at Blue Fuse is they've got bathrooms everywhere, paved parking, and a huge concession area too. I mean, that's a pretty haul. I mean, that's why I say we might at some point look at it, but when you're talking, it's a pretty different, it's a pretty upgraded facility compared to what we're doing.
I would think that since Greek Court is just like a mile down the road,
Yeah.
that 120 probably is just a single hourly rate. It's probably not a bulk rate.
That makes sense.
Okay, and then one other thing that I had, I mean, it may be minor, but whenever I was doing research on this, I know that at least with St. Louis County, they have, I guess, soccer fields. I'm not sure that they're the same as ours, but when it comes to weather and stuff like that, like you don't get credit or a refund, on that because it's an act of nature. Is that? I saw in our contract that they get credit. Is that something that we would consider?
All we did is told them if they can't use it, then they can, they just roll it into a different time. I mean, I didn't look at trend. Again, I don't know if it's different with the bulk rates versus not, whatever. I just felt kind of odd telling somebody they had to pay when they couldn't physically use it. Yeah.
No one can physically use it. They can.
Right, I don't think it'll be, the good thing is I don't think it'll be very many times because from my experience with all the people that are doing the soccer, those sports, they're so happy to have field time that I don't see them, they have an obligation to get out there, so you don't see it like on the grass fields for sure. So I don't think it'll be very many. But I just, like I said, when they made 100,000 commitment up front, I just thought, to get them on, maybe there's 4 or 5 times or something like that, we could just roll with it.
And Carlin, you have to remember that this lease has a minimum hour usage that they have to pay for, whether they use that or not. So even if they couldn't use like on a Monday, maybe they make it up on a Tuesday or another thing, but they still have to pay us for those hours for each lease term, which I'm sure St. Louis County doesn't have with anybody that they're giving money back.
Yeah, that's a good part, is they got a minimum, they're committed to that 1,200 or so they can't drop below that even if we have cancellations, we just have to make sure they hit 1,200.
Most of the time, these soccer fields are being used. I mean, they're playing soccer tonight over at Blue Fuse.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I think, it's
they canceled the other day only because it was freezing cold.
like,
It would be lightning or severe weather. It was.
I've been at soccer games where it's been raining.
Oh, my
You
son
put
played in
an
the snow.
umbrella up.
He played in
It's
the
like
snow.
Before a 22-degree fields.
If I'm not mistaken, this is probably the biggest rental fee we've ever had in city history for a park as well.
yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're hoping to top that with baseball.
Yeah.
But no, that's, does anybody have any more questions on it though?
No.
Yeah, I have a question
Okay.
Yes.
on, functioning. When it goes to lease obligations, I'm just wondering,
of course, down, line D about not sell food. How is that gonna work? Are we gonna do a concession stand? Are we not? Are we letting trucks come in? What is the obligation?
Well, what the lease says is that the lessor will not sell food or beverage without our written consent. So this doesn't pertain to what we're gonna do in the future, it's just they can't do anything unless you give them permission.
Did you hear that?
Yes. I just wanted to be a little bit more clear, because I didn't know.
Yeah, just basically what my main goal is, I didn't want them to set up regular sales of stuff without our permission. So it doesn't limit us in any way as the landlord, but it limits the tenant.
Okay,
So it just gives us the ability to make a decision later.
all right. Agreed.
Thank you, Mike.
I feel like that's a motion by Alderman Holloway for a second reading.
With the amendments,
Yeah, with the insurance amendment.
I'll second.
All right, motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Agreed.
An ordinance authorizing entering into a soccer field lease agreement.
So are we at the third or second?
This is the
This will
third.
be the third. Motion we read Bill 2824 amended for the third time by short title.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance authorizing entering into a soccer field lease agreement.
Yeah, I'll move that we adopt Bill 2824 as amended, via roll call vote.
Second.
Alderman Holloway,
I agree.
Murray,
No.
okay, Dykeman,
Yes.
Kilpatrick,
Yes.
Scrizzy,
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
All right. Bill number 2824 will bear ordinance number 2710. Moving on to item 9, approval of city disbursements.
I have a motion we pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Agreed.
Sounded good. Comments?
Can we go first?
Sure.
In the arbors, we, like to, motion that we, all the streets we've accepted and we install the appropriate signs and, enforcement by police. If I'm missing anything, I get.
No, so you want the chief to determine where the stop signs and the no parking and all that go, and then erect the appropriate sign?
Yeah.
For all the streets that we've accepted?
Correct.
Okay, and some of them are up, right, chief?
We have most of them up, yes. We haven't accepted anything past Eagle Wing yet, as far as I know.
Yeah, I've got a list of it.
Did he update something and not tell us?
Yeah, we've got, I can send you the list with,
Yeah, the last thing we got was Eagle Wing, up to Eagle Wing off of, Main Drive.
yeah, it's virtually, it's pretty much up to the school.
Yeah.
There.
And then behind the school, the street behind the school as well, Jerry.
We'll check.
We have
You
all
wanna
of
make,
that.
you wanna make a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, motion passes. It's a little unusual to make a motion on the comments, but
Yeah.
maybe let's count badass. All right. I don't have any comments, you got any? Nope.
I had a request from the Lincoln Historical Society to see if this, if you'll allow them to some wall space in the new city hall where they can rotate in and out some artifacts that they've got. They do it now in some high schools, and,
They have a really cool, have you ever seen a picture of Craig in their book?
it's on.
No, nobody's had, but it's like about 20 years ago, and it's this amazing photo. If they would make that part of their exhibit, I'd want to kind of consider.
Well, I don't, we aren't,
Amazing. That was without my consent.
With-
It's like a 70s guy.
So you like the couple cases in the lobby or something?
Yeah, they wanted some, like, maybe a place to hang some pictures and stuff. I got
We could kind of designate it. I think as we get into the design. we
a
can
wall mounted glass, where they can open and.
Okay. All right.
Yes?
Yeah, I just think we need to, I'd say out of I mean,
No,
we
no,
need to sit in, so we'd all look at it and incorporate that in some way, we can figure out as we go.
Sure.
thanks. I'll look
Sounds
into it.
good.
I'm good.
Virtual guys?
Jerry? I agree.
Any comments, Jerry?
Any comments or suggestions?
No, I'm good. I'm evening up my tan.
Always a good thing.
Carleen?
I'm okay.
All right, guys, anybody want to go to close?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
No, you're good.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I agree.
All right. You folks, you guys, I know you walked in, do you need anything from us or anything?
No, we are observing for a scouting requirement.
We're,
Well,
you get the good one.
Come on up to the mayor and have him sign one of the agenda forms to show that you've been here.
I agree. What is Megan gonna sign for you?
No, he's gonna bring that back, you said.
Mike is gonna do it.
Are we still on the air?